Everybody, welcome to day 2 of 30 days towards creating a family ministry plan for your church. My name's Tommy, and we're with Ron Hunter, who's the author of the DNA of D6. We're excited about the opportunity to talk about family ministry, but before we dive into it, I would love to read a quote that I saw from Richard Ross about your book. He said, in the DNA of D6, Ron Hunter clearly lays out a plan for linking church and home in that valuable process of generational discipleship. Church leaders need to absorb every word. So, Ron, tell us, what's the big deal about the emphasis on home? Why would we need to do that as church leaders?
Great question. You know, it's always been God's plan to connect church and home. Great families, strong families, healthy families make great, strong, healthy churches. And yet we seem to always want the families to pour in this way when we need the church to pour in this way. If there are parents watching, I would ask you to go back in your memory to the time when your child took their very first step. It probably looks something like this. They were crawling over towards a couch or a chair. They pulled themselves up on the side, got both hands pulled up, wobbly legs. They turned a little bit, holding on, and they looked at you, and they let go with one arm, and they let go with the other arm, and step, 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 fall, plop. And at that moment, they look up, and they're looking to see how you're reacting. Kids take their cues from parents. And if you were cheering, they laughed. If you went, they probably began to cry. And from that moment on, for the rest of their life, they're literally interpreting life through their parents. They determine what ball teams they're going to cheer for. They determine a lot of times what cars they're going to drive, their view of authority. So many areas. And if they have that much influence, the question I have is, why aren't you putting more emphasis into helping the parents influence them the way you want them to? And so literally this chapter, the 1/168 flawed fraction is really about helping us reassess where our efforts should go. Most churches put all their efforts into what happens on Sunday morning, when we should be putting a good portion of our efforts into helping parents influence their kids.
Wow. So at the end of day 2 for this call to action, we want to just consider a possible mindset shift in how we view the home, that it's not outside in, that they're definitely a part of how we're going to disciple people within our church. So just think on these things, and we're excited to see you tomorrow.